Because like
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
this is why it
recording.
was hard for me
I'm
to,
recording it. Yeah,
all right.
please continue.
Okay, so I gotta say, this is why it was hard for me to label myself as Tibetan exclusively,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I've really only had a taste of this and that,
Mm-hmm.
even if some of these things have impacted me very powerfully.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I have um, really like adhered. I'm not an adherent to
Mm.
a lot of these things.
Mm.
I take them on board though, and observe their validity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the thing is I've come to this conclusion that I understand all of the good things in all the religions,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
and
But
why all the religions
but
started
but
out with
yeah, yeah.
good
I will
meaning.
explain about it. So because the modern generation have a habit of like a honeybee going from one flower to the other and taking little bit from everywhere. For some people that is good,
Mm-hmm.
but in Indian tradition or the Hindu tradition, it is said that at a time you should have one guru, at a time you should follow one lineage and finish that practice, and with the support and blessing of that particular guru you move to the next practice. If you still want to experience that, there is no harm in that. But if you are having multiple gurus at the same time, there is always a opportunity to get confused or get contradicted. So that is where to help the student.
Right.
So these kind of things were restricted, like you should finish one practice and move to the other, not like jumping from one unfinished thing to the unfinished other thing. Yeah, please continue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Um, the thing is that you only have so much time to be alive, though, also. And
Mm-hmm.
how long would you like to commit yourself to a guru who turns out maybe 10 years down the line to be
Mm.
doing very unethical things,
Okay.
in this
Mm.
in this day and age that we're living in? And so being that the world is in such a state where people are A, giving up hope,
Mm.
or B, not caring, C, contributing to destruction. Like there's a lot of things going on
Mm-hmm.
where people are
So
very
finding the
confused.
finding the right guru is the biggest problem. So it is always been like that.
It is a catastrophe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
It
a
is a,
catastrophe.
so so
It
you,
is.
yeah, there are manipulative
It's
people, but there
it,
are good people too. When either the simple solution is when your frequency matches or when the frequency is very good, hello, you meet such kind of person in your life. That is a simple solution for that. So the student, if when he or she is very ready, the guru appears in front of them. So that is what existence do. This is what in the Tantra text of Hinduism it is said. When the student is so ready, the guru will appear in front of them, because the gurus are so waiting for a right student to come and take the knowledge from them, because they need to pass on the lineage to them and they need to go. So
yes,
they were so waiting, but the right student is not coming. That is a problem, perhaps.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And this is my problem because I cannot find the right student. I have to turn away people who ask me for help and want
Mm-hmm.
to learn from me. I always turn people away. I
Mm.
don't I don't adopt the image or any of this like presence of a guru. I do not present myself, package myself, sell myself
Mm.
as Swami Rama
Mm.
did, for instance.
Mm. Mm.
I'm finding that the words quoted by Swami Rama, some of them were, in my opinion, unclean, in impure,
Mm.
not true.
Okay.
And like he's coming from these places where he would say these grand statements about how the state of your mind is because you're in this place this and that. Like I read something written by Swami Rama yesterday
Mm-hmm.
about how mind is a wall
Mm.
preventing you from realizing yourself. And
Mm.
it's like, no, no, guess what, Swami? You generated wall.
Yeah.
Like that has nothing to do with mind,
Mm-hmm.
not pure mind. You fabricate wall and then you say that is mind. So you're trying to present the absolute as an obstacle. Why
Mm.
would you do that?
Mm.
You know?
So this is a different
Uh,
perception from a different level of
yeah, I feel like I've
understanding. Mm.
yes, and you brought it up a little bit ago in the previous recording
Mm-hmm.
that this is what my first, I would have to say, my primary guru, like the person who initiated me and woke me up.
Mm-hmm.
He did not call himself a guru. He did not sell himself as a guru. There's
Mm.
nobody else on earth who would tell you he's his guru,
Mm-hmm.
but he has changed people
Yeah.
from living around them. It has been documented that people have changed being around this person. He just does
Mm.
not sell himself in this
Mm.
way. He's not, I
Exactly.
am a holy guru. I live in
Mm-hmm.
the mountains. Yeah, that no.
Yeah.
It was a man in Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
who was from Texas, who was raised by a white collar family.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught me most often people know just enough to become dangerous.
Mm. Okay.
Acha? Yeah.
Great.
So this is what I've noticed. A lot of people do. Um, like Bentino Massaro, for instance. Like who is that? Have you heard of Bentino Massaro?
No, not really that name. Maybe you can tell the story. Maybe I hear the story.
He's a Western guru.
Mm-hmm.
He sells himself as a guru,
Mm.
spiritual teacher, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
He says a lot of things that sound really good,
Mm-hmm.
but arrive nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just like all of this babble that just kind of goes in like a cycle of babble.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it doesn't bring people to a place of serenity and rest. It just kind of
This is the
makes you
story
go,
of
oh wow, that's
this is the
deep.
story of any
I'm
corporate
not sure where
gurus.
it's going.
They nowadays there is a new term called corporate
Yeah,
gurus established. Like, they start selling bottle of water, they start selling this, they start selling this, even sell soil in packages. So, and they establish themselves as gurus, and they don't have time for single person. They don't have time. They cannot devote their time for their students. Then how they can create a new generation of practitioners? So they are busy with their businesses, other businesses. Yeah.
right, right. This is the Kali Yuga, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Teachers
we
become
don't
business
have
people. Teachers
time
become.
for
Yeah.
people because we need money.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, and what do we need money for? Because we're so unhappy, we don't know how to even use money because we need to do all kinds of business to purchase all kinds of things to help us feel all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
And one of the other valuable things I was taught upon my awakening is that happiness is a choice,
Yes.
and this is part of, this is something many of us are not realizing. And so we are being pulled this way and that way, uh, like by the spanda,
Hmm.
to want to go here, want to go there.
Hmm.
Um, we, don't really know anymore often what we need.
Yeah.
As a massage therapist, people come to me occasionally not knowing what they need in order to feel better. They don't know how to get rid of their headache, you
Hmm. Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
Uh, some of them figure they just need like a scalp massage, for instance. Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. sometimes it is. Sometimes there's a temporal mandibular, tension in the jaw muscle. But on other occasions, they may need a foot massage. Like it really just depends.
Mm-hmm.
So, we often think we know what we need and what we want. We don't even know.
That's
So
why
how are we supposed to
we
actually
give
even like
opportunity. We
build
give
any kind of financial empire,
Yeah.
build a big nest egg of money,
Mm-hmm.
and do the right thing with that anyway?
We give
So
opportunity to
whether
all
a guru
kind of
ever becomes
people.
wealthy or doesn't,
Mm-hmm. You hear me?
yeah,
We give
yes,
opportunity to all kind of
I think,
people. Yeah, we give opportunity to all kind of people through our festivals. Like festival is a space where everybody can come and gather and talk to each other, meet new people, meet new higher practitioners from different lineages, and take something that is valuable without having actually, signing an agreement that I am, part of you. No, you are not part of anybody. You are coming and experiencing thing and going back and figuring out what is good for you. So we are not creating any new gurus, but we are creating festivals and spaces where people can gather and figure out themselves what is good for themselves. So this is the modern way of transforming
that's good
humanity.
because I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
trying to be,
yeah. And any body work
yeah,
got so
because
much
like actually what,
yeah, any body work got so much misinterpreted because of poisoning of that or manipulations like any other subjects. So I respect all the professions and I respect body working people too. Like in Hinduism, there was a great guru who was actually a butcher. He was a butcher, but he was the most conscious being lived in that space that time, because but professionally he was doing a butchering job, but he was a great human being. He had great skills and great consciousness. So we cannot judge people based on what they physically do for earning their bread and butter. Rather, it is good that they are not selling at least spirituality, you know.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
Um, I have been accused of selling spirituality with a like, or trying to make money off of my spiritual name.
Mm-hmm.
When it's like I have a few spiritual names that have been given to me from a few different like different people,
Mm.
and I like it. It's fun, but I don't sell myself as a brand under any of these names.
Mm.
Like they're just there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you read anything online that says that I'm a guru that I wrote, I must have been joking, really.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
because that's what I usually do. I joke a lot. I was a clown, so I still am kind of a clown. It kind of never goes away. I've heard a saying once a clown, always a clown. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that the dancing practice is great because even though I may have a lot of very deep and unusual thoughts to share and some new things to say that maybe nobody's ever thought about, or
Mm.
things to associate even and bring together elements that seem like they'd have no relation with each other, coming
Mm.
together to form like a new creature almost.
Mm-hmm.
um I'm not saying that like I'm anything because I've thought about these things.
Yeah.
It's just something I share. But the dancing practice is nice because it's considered a yoga.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I made up. It's something I learned and just have been sharing. It's not like my thing. It's just a great vehicle
Mm-hmm.
for helping people to let go of this whole like, let me put my legs behind my head and show you my arm balances and how I can pretzel my legs in a
Mm.
handstand. You know,
Mm.
it's like that's great. I'm glad that people can do that. Like, there's a whole bunch of very, very
That is
talented
mostly
acrobatic people.
gymnastics. Gymnastics. Yoga
Yes.
means, asana. The symbol name Sukha asana. The position in which you can be relaxed and you can sit comfortably. That is your asana. Which asana give you comfort? If you are very comfortable in Padmasana, you sit in Padmasana. If you are not comfortable and you are stressing out in Padmasana, don't do that.
Mm,
So it's like
yes.
that.
Some
Yeah.
I sit in Siddhasana a lot, but does that
Mm-hmm.
make me a Siddha? I don't know. I just like to sit in Siddhasana. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
um but the thing is, it's like what's fun about Siddhasana is not a lot of people know about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't look fancy.
Mm.
It's not impressive to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So, but and that's also what's nice about the dance thing, because it's just movement. Like we're doing what our basic animal bodies can
Mm.
do. All of us can
Yeah.
shake. We can do chi shaking.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
when you do movements, your the stress in each body cell will release, and you are giving an opportunity to rearrange what was suppressed inside you. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. And this is what I learned the first time I did the dance at the Ananda Ashram, actually here in upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
I was just amazed with how I felt. Literally, like it was like a news ticker right across my mind, and it just had very clear words. It was like, this has just helped to dislodge trauma baggage from your emotional mental body, and now source energy, creative source energy, can come
Mm.
through in a better way.
Okay.
So yeah, I was like,
So,
oh.
when we come back to Tibetan Buddhism, what is the biggest realization somebody can achieve through Tibetan Buddhism? What is the biggest achievement, or what is the biggest realization? So, where they stand when it comes to realizing, there are different stages of realization. I hear that different stages of realization, and what is the process?
um the thing I'm thinking of here is bodhicitta.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah, and that is like basically realizing the Buddhic mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where you understand that you've transcended.
Yeah.
You've got the Tathagata. You understand
Mm.
Tathagata, like
Tathagata.
that he has crossed over, and in that understanding, you cannot not love. Basically, like there's just love,
Mm.
and in that love, there are no conditions.
Yeah.
There are no excuses.
Mm.
There are there's no blame
Mm.
for, you know what I mean? It's blameless love, blameless joy. Um, and when people wish to cause you harm or insult you, you're not even surprised anyway. You're not shocked.
Mm.
You're like, oh, okay.
Is the state of
Just
sahaja is the same, or it is beyond this
yeah,
sahaja?
sahaja, spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
Um, mm, yeah, I would say your spontaneity is benign.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, like you're benignly spontaneous, and that is a form of liberation that scares people,
Mm.
because we are not accustomed to this nature of person.
Mm.
We usually expect a person who is spontaneous to be potentially harmful, or psychotic,
Yeah.
insane, scary, you know so that is in itself a powerful state, and not common. And if you are presenting yourself as a person who's spontaneous in this level, it can cause much drama.
Mm.
Yeah. So this may be explaining why many people are afraid of being perfect, because we often in the West will just say, no, no, nobody's perfect. It's just almost as if there is some kind of construct in their mind that's holding them back from that, because they're afraid of the
Mm.
capabilities that they may have as an uncultivated person.
Mm.
Yeah. The possibility that they could spontaneously stab somebody. They could
Yeah.
spontaneously jump off a building, you know. This that level of spontaneity is frightening. Like if you have like unrestrained spontaneity
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have bodhicitta, don't have this totally loving, ever forgiving, ever surrendering kind of like mode that you've really embraced fully,
Mm-hmm.
you can relapse
Okay.
into a dangerous person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I hope you follow me because
Yes,
this is
yes,
a
this
deep
is
and
a
complex.
very valid point. You know, you cannot trespass one state of realization to reach to the other. You have to go through the phases, like step by step. Then only
It's
the
a ladder.
ladders. Yes,
You can't
you know.
you
So
can't
that's
skip
dangerous.
rungs. You have to go one after
Yes,
the next.
yes, yes.
And yeah, I actually show this with a yoga prop that I have, which is the map of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
that was brought up by Dr. David Hawkins, actually Sir Dr. David Hawkins. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth,
Mm-hmm.
was a psychologist. And I don't know if we've got time. I don't know if I should run and go get it. Maybe some other time we can do another recording.
Yeah,
But
sure.
yeah, the map of consciousness is great. It shows you where these sentiments that we talk about all the time are,
Mm-hmm.
and spirituality is there. But spirituality is a paradigm,
Mm-hmm.
and the map of consciousness has three paradigms.
Mm-hmm.
One is the bottom is survival,
Mm-hmm.
and it's big commonality. You know, like 75% of the global population is in
Mm.
survival paradigm.
So that is where
And then
I have a question. Why most
yes,
90% of spiritual being end up as beggars? Why can't they live in luxury? Why can't they live in a fulfilled life? Why spiritual beings become beggars? What is the problem? Why they can't live like kings and queens or entrepreneurs?
well, if so, let's say that so what's coming in for me right now is what my initial teacher taught me. I'll just
Mm-hmm.
quote what he said.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not have certain qualities, you cannot see them in your fellow man.
Mm.
You know, a person who is obsessed with money and sex and young women, will not be able to listen to a old woman
Mm-hmm.
who has a lot of wisdom and no money. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she's not dressed very nice.
Mm-hmm.
What would he want to have to do with that?
Okay.
There's a good, just blunt example there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Or another man, like an old man, who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have money. Or
Mm-hmm.
even a young man who doesn't have money, who has maybe experienced an incredible awakening.
Mm-hmm.
But also though, like when a person has reached the spiritual paradigm, they still have obstacles that they are
Mm-hmm.
struggling with. Because as you go up higher in the consciousness, more things become problematic and you see more, you understand more, and you must center yourself and focus. You must like be able to sort things out.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have come up spiritually, still you have that challenge of sorting things out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
and
And you were
prioritizing
you were
all of it.
telling you were telling about the different level, a survival mode you were telling. And please
That's
continue that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's three paradigms:
Mm-hmm.
survival.
Mm-hmm.
Next one up is integrity.
Okay.
And then after integrity, spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual.
Mm.
So David Hawkins created a numerological analog to to number these consciousness levels, break it all
Mm.
down, like make it into like little boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually boxed up consciousness and put it in a big complex case.
Okay.
It's really quite a feat. It's like his life achievement basically.
Mm.
So yeah, it goes from 0 to 1,000. So it's very interesting. I think it's zero. No, actually, I think it goes from 10 to 1,000. Kind of zero. Zero's just dead. There's nothing even to talk about. That right? So
So
the
what is
10.
void? I hear this terminology is not at all used in Hinduism or Hindu Tantra because void is not at all acceptable. What is void in Buddhism? What is void?
Well,
State of void.
in Vijnana Bhairava, we talk about well, Bhairav. Bhairav is destroying everything. And the Yoga Spandakarika source tantra from the, I think that was from Kashmiri Shaivism, I think.
Yeah, yes.
It asks like if you were to observe void, where would you observe it from? From what angle would you observe it? Like how do you so void or shunya is a tool in a way. Like it's clearly void is not void because we are saying the word void. Void really is, like it's beyond, and there's nothing you can't grasp.
Is there a coming back for a person who reached the state of void? I mean, like if a Avaduta or a Ningmapa saying that I am living in void, so see, still I am is not there. So then is there a coming back?
Yeah, if he said I am living in void, I'm wondering if he is truly living in void because you already said I
am. Yes.
They might as well say I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am,
yes.
I am. You just continue saying I am. And that's about as void as you can get if you're already going to start saying I am.
Yeah.
Because if you've added an accessory to I am, you already are something else too. You're generating. The void, in my opinion, is pure mind.
Okay.
So, and if you look at it, if you look at an atom and you zoom into the atom and it disappears, you have to find the subatomic particles that are zipping around. Once you find one of those subatomic particles zipping around, you zoom into it, it disappears. It seems like everything's actually supported by void.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are there's ways of attempting to observe void. And just by attempting to observe void, you create a shift. That's my experience. You create a different way of approaching yourself and the universe and everything. It's a different way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that I experienced void when I had my spontaneous Kundalini awakening when I was 21.
Yeah.
And
that's a momentary, that's like a momentary experience, and you fall back to the reality or your reality. Yeah.
But it really was like I lost my mind. For a temporary amount of time. It was like all I could say was unfathomable repeatedly. I was just like unfathomable. I was just like I was in a shock. Yeah. But it was like void had been I approached void like I was looking inside myself after having had thrown away a lot of things I was attached to, material objects. And I decided to take a look inside myself. I just kind of closed my eyes and was like, what's there now? What's in me? And I saw nothing. It was like walking to the edge of a precipice and seeing absolute nothing. Just black space, nothing. And it was a simultaneously frightening and incredible, just beautiful experience. It was like, wow, this is amazing, and oh my god, that's scary all at once.
Yeah. So is void negative or positive? What is the state of void? Is it negative or is it positive or is it neutral?
It is void.
It's
It's
void
neutral. And most people, I believe, have a negative idea about void.
about it.
They like, 'cause it's like, well, you want things. If you can't have things, that seems to be a problem. Imagine not being able to see all of the colors and shapes and everything, and you suddenly went blind. It
Hmm.
was like, oh, that's a negative. Clearly, this is bad.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
a lot of people find void to be not a good thing. But
Hmm.
well, it's instrumental to whatever it is that you are wanting to think.
Hmm.
You
And
know, is yeah.
so we had a great conversation, and I like to have more sessions about your dance practice and other enlightening way of approaches. You shared your practical experience with us, and that's wonderful. It's your experience, your soul experience, and all the things that you shared is your experience. So we respect that, and let our audience respond to it, and I will give you the feedback, and we will make more sessions in future. And maybe if you want to say something, and then we can wind up this session as of today.
Yeah, thank you for giving me a chance to come back and talk. I was going to bring up the Sikh people at the end of the last session. That was just a funny thing. So I was going to say,
Oh.
like, yeah, the Sikh people do not like yoga, and
Mm-hmm.
I can see why if they think yoga is what a lot of people think yoga is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Sikh people are practicing a yoga too. They're practicing satya. They're
Yeah.
practicing sat. So it's actually a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one day the Sikh people can embrace yoga, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not familiar with
Mm,
that, but you said it, it's up to you. So I have no experience with them, and I don't know actually.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
This has
so
been
much for
beautiful.
such a beautiful
I,
session, and have a nice day. Namaste. Namaste. Om Tat.
namaste.
Yeah.
Right. Om Tat Sat.